Hello everyone, and here we have a news story. Before we get to that, I want to ask you to subscribe, like, and be sure to write comments in order to participate in the development of the community. Write how to improve my community, current topics in the stories you are interested in, and much more. I read and listen to all the comments. People write me stories by mail from different countries. There are problems with translation. I apologize for this. I will work on it and try to fix these errors. I want to thank everyone for their support and the people who wrote to me by mail, broadcast news stories. New videos on my channel are published once every 2 days at 7 p.m. Don't forget to put a bell in order not to miss new videos. And now let's go. Hello, I want to tell you my story. I'm 33 years old and my wife is 34 years old. We have been living together for 13 years. We have 2 small children. After 6 years of taking care of the children and our house, my wife returned to work. I wasn't against it at all. Although she said that she was happy when she was at home with the children, but she needed a change. Therefore, she found a job in her field of banking. The only problems I had to face. This is her strange relationship with a male work colleague. He was 27 years old, and it was with him that she cheated on me, as I later found out. It all started with random messages and turned into correspondence. My wife wrote dozens of messages every day, not counting talking to him at work, which she initially lied to me about it. When I expressed my concern, she excused herself by calling well-known expressions. We're just friends. Why are you controlling me so thoroughly? I saw him once when I was visiting my wife at work. What I saw alerted me. Somehow revised among themselves in a peculiar way. At the same time, they quickly looked away, as if they were embarrassed. At the same time, there was an awkward silence caused by me. After that day, I was pretty sure something was going on. This went on for several months, during which we quarreled every day. I kept telling her that their strange relationship was putting insane pressure on our marriage, but she always interrupted me and said that everything was fine. But I couldn't calm down, and one day I looked at her phone and found that they were texting each other every day. However, the dialogue was about neutral things and there was nothing frank. But it was obvious that some of the messages had been deleted and some of the messages were very personal. I couldn't take it anymore and told her that we needed to talk. In the evening, when we put the children to bed, I went to talk to my wife and told her that outwardly I was not showing signs, but this situation was devouring me from the inside. She was annoyed that I hadn't gotten rid of this obsession. She got angry again and started yelling at me. I immediately asked her to show me her phone and explained again. Why did this whole situation make me doubt the status of their relationship? She told me it was an invasion of her privacy, but eventually gave up. All messages between them were deleted. She cleared all the dialogue and didn't even leave the innocent messages that I've already seen. I was in a daze and asked her, why did you do that? What did she think could be achieved with this stupid move? Her argument was that my suspicions forced her to delete all correspondence, and she stopped all communication with him except for the workers. I knew my wife was lying, and at that moment I wasn't even angry. I was just very disappointed in her and offended. We walked in circles for over an hour. I thought it wasn't worth blaming her without proof. It's better to keep digging deeper unnoticed. I realized that I had made a mistake. It was the act of an idiot, because I was not to create suspicion. She'll be even more careful now. All this time her phone was lying right in front of us on the table. Guess who decided to write to my wife at 22? 13. His text was short but fairly well. Frank, I can't stop thinking about you. I hope you're okay. I read this message and looked at my wife. It was necessary to take a picture of her face at that moment. She knew it was him. I silently got up, went upstairs, took my bag, and started packing. She immediately followed me and started saying that this is not what I think. I've never seen her so desperate in my life. This is a truly heartbreaking picture without answering her a word. I took the bag and went to the door. She tried to block my way with her body and kept asking where I was going. I asked her not to contact me until she gets her head out of her ass and starts thinking. As a result, I pushed her aside and went outside. On the street, I quickly caught a taxi and drove to the other side of the city. As a result, I'm sitting on a bench on the other side of a city I've never been to. At a temperature of 10 degrees, I was waiting for my friend who allowed me to stay with him overnight. After our confrontation, I still had to return home, because I had nowhere to go. My wife has tried to talk to me many times, but I wasn't ready to talk. I was trying to come to my senses, and it took me several days. In the end, I wanted to know the truth. She admitted that they kissed, and that was it. The first kiss took place a few days before I came to her place of work. That's why they were so strange at that moment. She said it happened in the elevator when they were coming back from lunch. He attacked her, and she succumbed to his pressure. She says she immediately realized that it was wrong, after which she told him that it was a mistake, which should not happen again. He told her that we will see what happens next. After all, he was right the second time. They kissed for 10 minutes in his car, but my wife assured me that after that they had no physical contact or even personal meetings. Then I asked her how she could prove that this was exactly the case. She replied that she had never thought about it, and after a moment said she would find a way to prove it to me. She claims that there was no sex between them. Not because he wasn't trying to push her into it. On the contrary, he really wanted to have sex with her, but she didn't. But I don't believe her words. It is unlikely that two adults having an affair will not have sex. Moreover, they had the opportunity. When I asked her why she didn't want to have sex with him, she replied that she knew there would be no turning back. But I didn't calm down and pressed her. I asked if there was nothing between you, then why correspond with him every day? She replied that they from the very beginning corresponded a lot, starting from the first day they met. They mostly talked about innocent things. But now, she admits that some of the messages have crossed the line. They gradually moved from friendly topics to more intimate things. She admits that she deleted messages or entire conversations, which were too explicit by her standards. I didn't accept this truth, and we had to take another break. Apparently, her colleague was the instigator of most, but not all, inappropriate conversations. I replied to my wife that it takes two people to do this dance, and that she was as guilty as he was. Perhaps even more so than he was. She reluctantly agreed with my words. Then she said that they stopped texting each other several times, but they always returned to the correspondence again. They haven't written much to each other in the last 2 weeks. Then I asked her about the message that came that evening. She replied that he sent similar messages every time they had a break. He did this in order to draw her back into communication between them. She was too weak and stupid, so she took the bait every time. In the end, my wife told me that she was ready to completely stop communicating with him, and she was ready to send him a message with such a decision in front of me. Then, I asked how she will not be communicate with the person she works with. What if he needed to talk to her about work? Then she replied that she no longer cared about her job. As a result, she did it. In front of me, she sent him a message and blocked his number. I didn't ask her why she was having an affair. I said we'd discuss it another time later. She told me everything and asked me what I would do next. Then I told her that she had many opportunities to confess what was happening, but she didn't do it. So I suggested that she get a peaceful divorce. After that, she cried and begged me for 3 months not to divorce her, but I've never been able to forgive her. As a result, I divorced her and started a new life. I spend every weekend with my children. I have a good relationship with my ex-wife, but now everyone has their own personal life. If you like the story, give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss new videos. Now let's move on to the opinion of the author of the channel. The opinion of the author of the channel. According to tradition, I want to wish strength and patience to our hero. After listening to your story, I realized that this is a banal situation in which 80s of the male sex gets into. You did well and made the right decision. Do not doubt in any case and do not go back to the past. Always move forward and do not forget your children. I am glad that you have experienced this moment in your life. I am also glad that you parted peacefully. If you have watched to the end, I want to say thank you very much. I love you all. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey of love, betrayal, and redemption. I appreciate your support and encourage you to subscribe, like, and share this story. Your participation and feedback are invaluable for shaping our content and promoting mutual understanding and community growth. Until we meet again.